In pretty much every video game to ever exist, there exists some sort of information that you gotta keep track of. Whether it be money, abilities and cooldowns, ammo reserves, health points, or what have you, there's always something. And ensuring that the player has this information available to them at all times is extremely important to the user experience. So today we will be discussing the importance of HUDs, and not just the information they display, but how they're built in general, their size, the placement, and how they deliver the information to the player. And of course, we're gonna start by categorizing these things because, hey, it's me. I always categorize things unnecessarily. First, let's start with the fact that I killed a man in the spring of 2007. It was for pleasure. I do not regret my actions whatsoever. I dumped the body into the St. Lawrence River. The man did nothing to me. I simply felt like killing him that day. The murder was never resolved as nobody had suspected that the murderer could possibly be a 5-year-old child. Now you may be wondering how I can expect to admit to this fact without being arrested for it. The truth is, I actually invite being arrested because I believe with my whole heart that using my massive intelligence and charisma, I would be able to convince the warden of whatever penitentiary I would happen to be held in to commit to massive reforms across the jail. These reforms would be so popular and successful that they would spread across North America. Now getting a bit ahead of myself, I would then try to fix the prisons that happen to be in the United Kingdom through strategical political donations. However, due to the language barrier, I would instead accidentally send Papa John's barbecue chicken pizza to every household. At this point, Tucker Carlson will publicly shame me on false claims. In response, I would publicly challenge him to fix the problem that I was trying to solve. He would be successful in this. At this point, my public image will be absolutely decimated. So after a night of binge drinking, I would black out and write the best punk album to ever be released. It would hit the #1 spot in all charts across the world, thanks partly due to a TikTok trend which takes the lyrics out of the most popular song out of context in order to create repetitive and unfunny jokes. When J.K. Rowling dies of natural causes on August 7th, 2022, I hope that they bury her next to Margaret Thatcher for public ease of pissing on graves. It would be much more convenient to piss on 2 graves at once. Paint, sphere, bond, difficulty so expertise, deck indulge, reconcile, herd, tier, dependence, fox, charismatic, exit, surround, hot dog. Warn, cute, proclaim, makeup, hot, sample, posture, day, trolley, justify, remember, book, prevalence, ample, permission, bulletin, discover asylum, mood, concession, spider, decorative, stem cell, oppose, advocate, condition, raw, wear, staircase, penetrate, war, notion. Schizophrenia is not real and was made up by the government. I know this as there are FBI agents who are living within my walls. They are here to monitor me because they know I am too powerful. As I mentioned before, I could single-handedly reform the entire prison system in the North Americas. On top of this, I know many forbidden fruits of knowledge, such as where glue comes from, because trust me, it does not come from where you think. If you would like to know where glue comes from, please remove your skin and hide it behind the nearest dumpster. I will be sure to collect it shortly. Screaming is optional, although it is encouraged and expected as taking off your own skin will be quite painful. But I assure you that it is knowledge that is well worth the pain and suffering. Long term, without skin, you may have to adjust your daily life schedule, but honestly, that's not my problem. Oh, and as a message to Travis, it is completely okay to sexualize that underage cartoon high schooler. Please continue to clutch your Aunt Kamiki body pillow while telling yourself that this is morally correct and she would definitely date you in real life, despite the fact that there is a 25-year difference between you two. Also, make sure that next time you go out to not check underneath your car for any explosives. I assure you that there are no explosives attached to your car. Please continue into your car as normal when you go to work tomorrow morning. 9, 2, 6, 65, 113, 30, 178, 61, 145, 66, 173, 24, 9, 73, 169, 187, 104, 19, 112. Unexpected item in bagging area. Unexpected item in bagging area. An unexpected error has occurred. Please wait for a staff member to come aid you. I have reason to believe that 4 out of the 7 members of Maroon 5 are in fact federal agents, along with Joel from Vinesauce and my dad. They, along with a few others that I have yet to uncover, control the entire world's economy. Joe Biden has nothing to do with the inflated gas prices. It is all Joel from Vinesauce. Liver recruit agree method error person roll cabin advantage. Scan custody restaurant buy sacred lawyer conversation insist late projection swim critical retiree slant vein. I believe English teachers to be a plague on the education system. They don't really provide anything of use to the average high schooler. With a curriculum that revolves around analyzing poetry and Shakespeare quotes, there's nothing to be taken from the classes, nor is it interesting to the average high schooler. It is a shame that the American education system does not implement more entomology into English classes, as I find that is a much more interesting and thought-provoking subject that teaches about how human culture is formed and how things can distort over time, and how misinformation and trends can get into the way of reality. Critical thinking skills which surely would be important in life, rather than whether Othello was a good person, which, let's be real, has no actual weight on the world. Hollow Knight is a garbage game and nobody should play it, and if you enjoy Hollow Knight, you are a child. You have the emotional maturity and mental capacity of an actual 5-year-old if you enjoy this video game. My reasoning behind this is the fact that I don't actually like it that much. Therefore, you are a horrible human being if you have a different opinion than me. A fun fact, the wage gap is the biggest it has ever been in human history. Much bigger than the wage gap that was the cause of the French Revolution, in which the bourgeoisie and the rich and the royal were all beheaded for their greed. Tim Hortons coffee hasn't really been as good as it used to be ever since they got bought out by Burger King, and their menu really hasn't improved much at all. In fact, it might have actually gotten worse due to the buyout. They've really spread themselves too thin. People who eat at Burger King do not exist. Nobody enjoys Burger King. Why does Burger King exist? How do they get money? Where does it come from? I think that they should be audited. There's surely some sort of tax crazy scheme going on there because nobody eats at Burger King. Nobody eats at Burger King. Don't say that you eat at Burger King because you don't. Nobody eats at Burger King. Something is going on there. It has to be, like... The corporation has to be carried by other brands that they own by now, right? There's no way that Burger King outcompetes anybody these days. They were in the business early. They were competitors to McDonald's, which is where the fast food boom came from. But the fact remains that Burger King is by far the worst of any fast foods that is available in North America today. It's kind of weird that lettuce is just a leaf that we eat. Like, you'd think that there'd be more leaves that we eat, or less. You know, it's just weird that lettuce and, like, basil and, like, maybe a couple other spices, those are, like, the only leaves that we eat. When leaves are, like, so plentiful, you'd think that the human body would develop to eat more leaves. I don't know, it's just weird. It's just weird, you know? Like, if you're going to be a vegetarian or, a herbivore in evolution, it would make sense to eat what's available the most, right? So why not leaves? They're full of... Actually, that might be a good point. They might not be full of anything. Mostly chlorophyll, right? But chlorophyll's got to be important. I mean, like, brontosauruses and giraffes, they eat leaves all the time. Although giraffes do have the height advantage of being able to actually reach the trees. I guess that's an evolutionary niche that they have going for them. But humans and apes, and plenty of primates really, and small rodents, we all have the ability to climb trees, so you'd think that we'd be able to eat leaves more. Thinking about it, the few species that eat solely leaves that I can think of is like the koala bear and the sloth is kind of a failure of a species, while the koalas actually do get along quite fine. There's also pandas, which eat strictly bamboo, which were getting along fine until humans came along and messed up their environment so that they're no longer reproducing naturally. And that's only going to get worse with time. They are now an endangered species. I regularly drive at about 140 kilometers per hour on the highway at midnight. For fun, of course. During the winter, I live up north, so the roads are horrible, you can't even see sometimes, and I still regularly drive 140 kilometers per hour going to work at midnight. I work a graveyard shift. I drive a 2004 Malibu. It's not a very hardy car. It's not even a truck. It's literally just a dinky little car. And I'm not dead yet. So I think more people should do that. We should all drive at like 140, 150 in the winter. Like, I could do it, why can't everyone else? It's fun. Do it for fun. It's fun. You should try it. Everyone should speed by 50% over the limit during the worst possible conditions. You should also take off your skin. That's like I'm really pushing that, you know? It's definitely worth it. Take off your skin. Take it off. It's so freeing. And you get to learn where glue comes from. Like, does that not intrigue you? Come on. I know you want to. Come on. Take off your skin. Take off your skin. Take off your skin. Take it off. Take off your skin. Calm, supplementary, fun, thoughtful, feeling rap, abundant perfume, curl experience, nuance, negative, top weight bang, irony, chip at, genetic, insure, coal, predator, cute, transaction. Retreat, opposed, facade, collect, cycle, captivate, chocolate, ceremony, copy, monkey, prosecution, farewell, heaven, forge. And with that, dear viewers, I have to go pick up my antidepressants. Please never contact me again.